Hey guys. Just wanted to try a frayren crossover, so this is pretty short. This is what if Naruto joined the heroes' party. After the Fourth Great Ninja War, Naruto is pulled into a tear in reality, and wakes up in a world of magic, demons, and immortality, Frieren's world. With his chakra fading and Kurama's voice growing weaker, Naruto joins the heroes' party to battle the Demon King. Along the journey, he forms bonds, heals old wounds, and leaves a legacy in a world that will one day forget his name, except for one elf who always remembers. Hit like and subscribe if you like this one. Let's start. Prologue, the tear in the sky. The war was over. Madara defeated. Kaguya sealed. Peace, hard-won and fragile, had finally come to the ninja world. Naruto sat atop the Hokage monument, legs dangling over his father's stone face. The setting sun bathed Konoha in amber light, highlighting the reconstruction already underway. Scaffolding rose like new growth from the ruins. We did it, didn't we? Naruto whispered, more to himself than to Kurama. You did it, the fox rumbled inside him. Though I helped a little, Naruto smiled. Even Kurama had changed. Everyone had. I keep thinking about Neji. About everyone we lost. Naruto's fingers traced the edge of his headband. Was it worth it? A sudden wind whipped around him, unnatural and charged. The air above cracked, a thin line of light splitting the evening sky. Naruto. Something's wrong. The tear widened, revealing not sky but somewhere else entirely. A swirling darkness shot through with purple light. What is that? Naruto stood, instinctively gathering chakra. Run, you idiot! But Naruto couldn't move. The rift exerted a pull, gentle at first, then insistent. His feet slid forward. Kurama! It's drawing on our chakra! Naruto dug his heels in, but the force grew stronger. The last thing he saw was Konoha beneath him, peaceful and unaware, before the tears swallowed him whole. Chapter 1. A World Without Chakra. The first thing Naruto noticed was the smell, unfamiliar herbs and morning dew. His eyes opened to a foreign sky, clearer and somehow deeper than any he'd seen. He's awake, said a voice, female, calm, detached. Naruto bolted upright. 4 strangers surrounded him, a short, muscular man with an axe, a bespectacled man in robes, a beautiful young woman with emerald hair, and a confident man whose presence reminded Naruto oddly of Kakashi-sensei. Easy there, said the axe-wielder. We're not enemies. Where am I? Naruto demanded, trying to summon his shadow clones. Nothing happened. Naruto, Kurama's voice was alarmingly faint. Our chakra, it's not working here. You fell from the sky, said the silver-haired woman. Her eyes were ancient in a youthful face. Quite dramatically. I'm Himmel, said the Kakashi-like man with a disarming smile. This is Frieren, our mage, Hyder, our priest, and Aizen, our warrior. We're on our way to defeat the Demon King. Demon King? Naruto repeated. Like Kaguya? The party exchanged glances. I don't know who that is, said Himmel, but our Demon King threatens all humanity. We're the heroes' party, chosen to stop him. Before Naruto could respond, a monstrous roar split the air. Dark shapes crashed through the forest. Twisted humanoid figures with horns and claws. Demons! Aizen shouted, drawing his massive blade. Instinct took over. Without chakra, Naruto relied on pure taijutsu, dodging, punching, kicking. A demon lunged. Naruto flipped over it, landing on its shoulders and snapping its neck with a practiced twist. Frieren's magic illuminated the clearing with blue light. Himmel moved like lightning. Hyder's barrier spells shimmered gold. Aizen's blade cleaved through flesh, and Naruto fought alongside them as if he'd done it 1,000 times before. When it ended, the party stared at him with new respect. You fight well for someone who fell from the sky, Himmel said. I'm a ninja, Naruto replied. From Konoha. I've never heard of such a place, Frieren said, her eyes narrowing with scholarly interest. It's very far away. Naruto felt the weight of that truth. And I don't think I can get back. Himmel studied him for a long moment, then smiled. Well then, ninja from Konoha, would you like to join us? We could use someone with your skills. Naruto looked at each of them, strangers in a strange world. But there was something familiar in their resolve, their unity. I'm Naruto Uzumaki, he said. And yes, I'll help you defeat your Demon King. Chapter 2. A Shinobi in a Mage's World. Again, Frieren said, her patience seemingly endless. Naruto concentrated on the leaf in his palm. In his world, this would have been a beginner's exercise. Here, it was maddening. I don't feel anything, he complained. Magic isn't something you feel, Frieren corrected. It's something you understand. Chakra was easier. This chakra you speak of sounds fascinating, she said. A blend of physical and spiritual energy. Our magic is different, pure connection to the world's laws. After a week of training, Naruto had managed only the most basic spells. Even those felt wrong, like writing with his non-dominant hand. It's depleting me, Kurama warned, his voice growing fainter each day. This world doesn't sustain chakra naturally. That night, by the campfire, Himmel sat beside Naruto. Frieren says you're struggling? Naruto poked the fire with a stick. Everything's different here. Even the air, Himmel nodded. When I was chosen as the hero, I felt the same way. Ordinary one day, carrying the world's hopes the next. In my world, I was going to become Hokage, our village leader, Naruto said. Now, I don't know what I am. I see a hero, Himmel said simply. One from another world, perhaps, but a hero nonetheless. The sincerity in his voice reminded Naruto of Irika-sensei. I once knew someone like you, Naruto said softly. Someone who believed in people. Then they must have been very wise, Himmel replied with a smile. Across the fire, Frieren watched them, her ancient eyes reflecting the flames. Chapter 3. The Bonds That Form. Weeks passed. The hero's party traveled northward, toward the Demon King's realm. One evening, Hider challenged Naruto to a card game. These demons we fight, Naruto asked as they played, were they always evil? Hider adjusted his glasses. An interesting question. Most are born of darkness, yes. In my world, we learn that enemies are often just people with different stories. A compassionate view, Hider said, laying down a winning hand. But compassion has limits when facing true evil. I've heard that before too. Aizen became Naruto's sparring partner, teaching him to compensate for his diminished abilities with steel and strategy. Your form is unusual, Aizen commented, parrying Naruto's strike. But effective. Pervy Sage, my teacher, always said adaptability matters more than tradition. Wise words. Aizen grinned. Though I question his chosen title. One night, unable to sleep, Naruto found Frieren sitting alone, gazing at the stars. Do you ever sleep? He asked, sitting beside her. I was reading some grimoires, she replied. And I find the night peaceful for contemplation. The stars are different here, Naruto observed. But still beautiful. Frieren regarded him curiously. You've lost everything, your home, your power, your future. Yet you rarely seem despondent, Naruto shrugged. I lost my parents when I was born. Was hated by my village for years. Had my best friend tried to kill me. Twice. He smiled. But I always found new reasons to keep going. Humans are remarkably resilient, Frieren said quietly. It's something I've observed for centuries. How old are you exactly? Old enough to have watched kingdoms rise and fall. Young among elves. That's hard to imagine. Time passes differently for me, she explained. What feels like a brief moment to me might be years for you. Naruto thought about this. So you'll outlive all of us. Himmel, Hider, Aizen. Yes. A single word, but heavy with acceptance. That must be lonely. Frieren turned to him, genuinely surprised. Most people envy immortality. Living forever doesn't seem worth much if you lose everyone you care about, Naruto said. Back home, there was this guy, Orochimaru, obsessed with living forever. But all it did was make him less human, perhaps. Frieren looked back at the stars. But memory preserves what time takes away, until memories fade too. Yes, she agreed softly. Until even those are gone. Chapter 4. The Demon King's Shadow. The northern territories were blighted lands, withered trees, ashen earth, and perpetual twilight. Here, the Demon King's influence was strongest. They encountered a demon commander in a ruined fortress, taller than the others, with midnight blue skin and eyes like molten gold. Something about it made Naruto's skin crawl. This one is different, Kurama growled weakly. It has resonance. The battle was fierce. The demon commanded dark magic that even Frieren struggled to counter. When it spoke, its voice carried in human harmonics. Hero, it hissed at Himmel, your journey ends here. I don't think so, Naruto interrupted, drawing its attention. The demon tilted its head. You do not belong here, Fox Carrier. Naruto froze. How could it know about Kurama? The demon smiled. I see the ancient one within you, fading like twilight. Aizen's blade cleaved through the distracted demon, ending the confrontation. But its words lingered. That night, they camped near a valley shrouded in mist. Frieren warned them about spatial distortions, fractures in reality caused by concentrated magic. Don't wander off, she cautioned. The mist can show visions of other places, even other times. Despite the warning, Naruto felt drawn to the valley edge. The mist swirled, parting momentarily, and his heart stopped. There, in the distance, impossible but unmistakable, stood Konoha. He could see the Hokage Tower, the academy, even Ichiraku Ramen. Home, he whispered, stepping forward. Naruto, stop! It's not real, but it looked real. He could almost smell the familiar scents, hear distant voices. A hand gripped his arm. Frieren stood beside him, her eyes stern. What do you see? She asked. My village. My home, she nodded. The mist shows what the heart seeks. It's an illusion, but drawn from truth. As she spoke, the vision faded, leaving only empty mist. Could it? Naruto hesitated. Could it be a way back? No, Frieren said gently. Just a reflection of what was. Naruto stood silently, watching the last wisps of his former life dissolve into nothing. Later, Frieren found him sitting alone by the campfire, unusually subdued. You've never spoken much about what you left behind, she observed. What's the point? Naruto replied. It's gone. Memories have value, Frieren said. Even painful ones, says the person who'll outlive everyone she knows. The words came out harsher than intended. Frieren didn't respond immediately. I apologize, she finally said. I shouldn't presume to understand your loss. Naruto sighed. No, I'm sorry. That was unfair. Perhaps, she suggested carefully, we understand each other better than either realizes. Chapter 5. The Hero's Heart. They reached a village nestled against mountains, the last settlement before the Demon King's territory. The villagers greeted him with awe and threw a feast in the party's honor. That night, as the celebration continued, a horn sounded. Demons poured from the forest, a raiding party seeking easy prey. The battle was chaotic. Villagers screamed. Buildings burned. The hero's party fought valiantly, but they were outnumbered. Naruto found himself protecting a group of children trapped in a collapsing building. With strength born of desperation, he held up a burning beam while they escaped. Stand back! He shouted when the last child was safe. Drawing on Frieren's lessons, he managed a minor water spell to douse the flames. When the attack ended, the village headman approached Naruto. You saved our children. You're a hero, like Himmel. Naruto shook his head. I just did what anyone would do. Later, Himmel found Naruto helping rebuild a damaged wall. The headman tells me you refused their thanks, Himmel said. Naruto shrugged. I don't need thanks for doing the right thing. Humility is admirable, Himmel said, but denying your impact doesn't serve anyone. What do you mean? Those children you saved, they'll remember this day their whole lives. They'll tell their children about the golden-haired warrior who protected them. Your actions will inspire courage long after we're gone. I never thought about it that way, Naruto admitted. A hero's greatest power isn't in combat, Himmel said. It's in the hope they leave behind. Frieren, organizing her spell components nearby, paused her work. Her expression, as she looked at both heroes, one legendary, one displaced, was thoughtful, perhaps even troubled. Chapter 6. The Elf and the Shinobi. The mountains leading to the Demon King's castle were treacherous. One evening, separated from the others in a snowstorm, Naruto and Frieren took shelter in a mountain cave. Frieren conjured magical fire, flames that gave warmth without smoke. Your magic is amazing, Naruto said. Like Kakashi-sensei's techniques, but more elegant. I've had centuries to refine it, Frieren replied, her usual reserve softening slightly. Though I'm still learning. After hundreds of years, the pursuit of knowledge never ends. That's one blessing of a long life. Naruto pulled his cloak tighter. And the curse? Frieren stared into the flames. Watching those you care for fade away. They sat in silence for a while, listening to the howling wind outside. Will you forget Himmel? Naruto finally asked. When he's gone, I've asked myself the same question, Frieren admitted. I want to say no, but time erodes everything, even memory. I don't think that's true, Naruto said firmly. Memories might fade, but feelings don't. What do you mean? My parents died the day I was born. I never knew them, no memories at all. But when I finally learned who they were, what they did for me, I felt their love. It had always been there, even without memories. Frieren considered this. An interesting perspective. Back in my world, there's a stone with names carved on it. Shinobi who died protecting our village. Most people don't remember who those people were anymore, but they still feel gratitude when they see that stone. So you believe emotions outlast memory? I believe what matters most leaves a mark that never completely disappears. Frieren studied him with newfound curiosity. For someone so young, you have unexpected wisdom. Not wisdom, Naruto smiled. Just experience with loss. The fire cast soft shadows across their faces, and for a moment, the immortal elf and the displaced shinobi found unexpected common ground in their differences. Chapter 7. The Final Battle. The Demon King's castle rose like a twisted sculpture against blood-red skies. Inside, corrupted magic warped reality itself, rooms that defied geometry, staircases leading nowhere, shadows that moved independently. The hero's party fought through hordes of demons, each more powerful than the last. Naruto, though lacking his former powers, had mastered a fighting style that blended taijutsu with basic magic. In the throne room, they finally confronted the Demon King, a towering figure with obsidian skin and a crown of horns. Power radiated from him in palpable waves. "Welcome, hero," the Demon King's voice echoed. "And your little companions, including the traveler between worlds." His gaze fixed on Naruto. "You carry something ancient within you. Something I could use." "Be careful," Kurama warned. "He can sense me." The battle was cataclysmic. Himmel fought with legendary skill. Aizen's blade shattered demon armor. Hyder's barriers held against dark magic. Frieren cast spells of blinding power, but the Demon King was stronger than they anticipated. One by one, the party members fell back, wounded or exhausted. "Your world will fall," the Demon King declared, as all worlds eventually do. Naruto, bleeding and battered, felt a familiar desperation, the same he'd felt fighting pain, facing Madara. "Naruto," Kurama's voice was barely audible now. "I've been saving what little power remains. Take it, but I know. But this is what partners do." Warmth flooded Naruto, not the overwhelming chakra of old, but something subtler. A golden glow surrounded him, reminiscent of his former glory. "What is this power?" Frieren gasped. Naruto stood tall. "This is the last gift of a friend." He attacked with renewed strength, not as the seventh Hokage that might have been, but as Naruto Uzumaki, the boy who never gave up. The Demon King faltered under the assault. Himmel seized the opportunity, driving his legendary sword through the demon's heart, while Frieren cast a binding spell of unprecedented complexity. As the Demon King fell, the castle began to collapse. Reality itself seemed to shudder. Inside Naruto, Kurama's presence flickered. "Well done, kid? I guess this is goodbye." "Kurama, no, live well, Naruto. You were the best host I ever had." And then the fox was gone, the last connection to his former world fading like mist in sunlight. Chapter 8. After the war, the kingdom celebrated for a week. Songs were composed about Himmel and his party, the hero who slew the Demon King, saving humanity from darkness. Naruto stayed in the background. His contribution was noted in the official accounts, but few people paid attention to the foreign warrior compared to the legendary hero. It didn't bother him. He understood now what truly mattered. On the final night of celebrations, Frieren found him on a palace balcony, watching distant fireworks. "You should be at the banquet," she said. "You earned your place there." "So should you," he countered. "But here we are, the two outsiders. I've never been comfortable with human celebrations. They're so fleeting, like everything else in life." Frieren studied him. "You've changed since we met. There's a sadness in you now." "Kurama's gone," Naruto said simply. "My last connection to home." "I'm sorry, don't be." He made his choice. Naruto looked up at the stars. "Everyone's talking about Himmel, how he'll be remembered forever as the hero who saved the world." "History simplifies," Frieren said. "One name becomes the vessel for many deeds. It's right that it should be him. He holds this world together in a way I never could. And yet your impact was essential." Naruto smiled faintly. "You'll remember all of them, Himmel, Hyder, Aizen. That's your burden and your gift. But maybe I made a dent too." "More than a dent," Frieren said softly. "You taught me something important." "What's that?" "That memories may fade, but feelings endure." Chapter 9. The fox disappears. Spring came. The heroes' party, their quest complete, began to separate. Hyder returned to his temple. Aizen opened a training hall. Himmel was summoned to the capital. Naruto lingered, uncertain of his place in this world now that his purpose was fulfilled. "What will you do?" Frieren asked him as they walked through a blooming orchard. "I don't know," he admitted. "I don't belong anywhere. You could stay with us." "With me," she suggested, her usual composure slipping slightly. "Continue to study magic?" Naruto looked at her with genuine affection. "You know I'm not meant for that life." Something unspoken passed between them, an acknowledgement of what might have been in another lifetime. "Besides," he continued, "I feel something pulling me onwards." "Another rift?" Frieren asked, alarmed. "No, nothing like that. Just a sense that there's somewhere else I need to be." The next morning, Naruto was gone. His few possessions remained, except for his weapons and travel clothes. On Frieren's desk lay his leaf headband, the symbol of Konoha that he'd worn since childhood. She searched for him, of course. For months, then years. She heard stories of a golden-haired wanderer who appeared in troubled villages, helped those in need, then disappeared again. But she never found him. Some said he'd discovered a way home. Others believed he'd simply wandered into the uncharted territories beyond the northern mountains. A few claimed he'd ascended to become a guardian spirit. Frieren kept his headband, studying its unfamiliar symbol, preserving it with magic against time's decay. Epilogue, the elf who remembers. 80 years later, Frieren traveled with her apprentice Frieren and the young warrior Stark. They rested in a small northern village where a festival was underway. "What's this celebration?" Frieren asked a local. "The Summerbringer Festival," the villager explained. "For the golden spirit who brings warm days and protects travelers." The village square featured a crude statue, a smiling young man with whisker marks on his cheeks. "Frieren-sama," Stark said, "you look like you've seen a ghost." "Perhaps I have," Frieren murmured. That night, as they camped under the stars, Frieren asked about the hero's party. "You always speak of Himmel-sama and the others," she said. "But today, you seemed affected by that village statue." Frieren hesitated, then reached into her pack, removing a cloth-wrapped object. Carefully, she unwrapped an ancient metal headband, its cloth band long since replaced, its spiral leaf symbol still distinct. "There was another," Frieren said softly. "A loud boy from another world who joined us briefly. He fought differently, spoke differently, saw the world differently." "What happened to him?" Stark asked. "He vanished," Frieren replied, without explanation or farewell. "But everywhere he went, he left warmth behind. Like summer after a long winter." "Do you miss him?" Frieren asked gently. Frieren touched the headband, her ancient eyes distant with memory. "He once told me that memories fade, but feelings don't," she said. "I've lived long enough to know he was right." She looked up at the night sky, where stars might be the same ones that shone over worlds beyond their own. "I still remember his voice," she whispered. "Always saying he would never give up. And somehow, I believe he never did."